All right, we are here with Thomas Jens from Steel Mantis, and he just had a game that he, I guess, did you design it? Were you the designer or the director? Or?
Let's see. So it's basically made by me and Andrew, and we both handled several different aspects each.
Gotcha,
so.
But it was just you and another guy, and you made Valfaris. Is it Val or Val?
Valfaris.
Oh, it's Val. Okay, good. Valfaris.
I think so.
Nice job.
Yes, all right. Well, you got the two A's in there, and they both make. See, he said it's Val and then Far. It's not Valfaris. Valfaris.
Maybe we should leave it open to interpretation.
Okay, I like it. Well, I'm going to call it Valfaris. That's what I have been calling it. But yeah, this game that just recently released on the Switch. Now, I don't know, has it been out a while on other platforms?
It came out on PC and Switch on the same day, so it's only been out a couple of weeks, I guess, and it'll be coming on to PS4 and Xbox in a matter of days now. So yeah.
Right.
Heck yeah.
I've been following this game ever since I saw there was some sort of leaked press release or something. I don't know if you remember this or if it something where this game was announced, and I saw it was from Merge, and I've been doing some unboxings from Merge, and I was like, I emailed them, I'm like, whoa, what is this game? And I was like, I need to know what this game is and what is going on with it, and because this is getting a signature edition, physical release.
Right, yeah. So,
which is amazing, and I cannot wait to get it. I cannot wait. This is such a cool game. And I'm gonna gush on this a little bit here, because this, if you look, everyone should look this game up just to look at some gameplay and screenshots. But it is absolutely just crazy looking. I mean, like I said, it's like I guess, what do you call it? Like a heavy metal, a heavy metal.
I guess like a heavy metal run and gun.
Run and gunner, I guess.
Something like that.
And it's just oozing.
It's gorgeous.
I mean, it really is oozing. I would say that's such a good. That's how I'd say it, because it with these bright neon crazy colors. It has this new. I've noticed this a little bit. I love this space horror that's also infused with hive, like insect space horror.
Oh right, yeah. So
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it kind of has the sort of thing you'd find in Warhammer 40k with
It's
it definitely has insane colors, because that's definitely the first thing that's going to grab you about this game is just its appearance. Because it seems like a lot of the different areas they seem different, but all still have that that characteristic of just colors, sort of like Perry said, oozing all over, popping all over the screen, and then all of a sudden you see the run and gun gameplay action. You're like, okay, this game's gonna be badass.
Oh, and so I'm gonna be completely honest, because I always, it's like I see beautiful games. And I am the type of person that it's always gameplay first for me. For me, it's with the importance of a game, I feel like the gameplay comes first, and then after that, aesthetic. And so that's why I think Nintendo does that really well, where they come up with a gameplay concept, and then they just put whatever aesthetic around it, and it's usually they're both usually pretty good. And so I was like, this game looks freaking sweet. How does it play? So I got to play it this last week. And it's unbelievably fun. It feels. I got to thinking. I actually felt like this game was almost designed. I mean, it felt like the gameplay came first, and I was so happy about that. I was this game is so satisfying and fun to play. And so I just wanted to tell you, thank you for letting me play such a really fun game.
Wow, that's some high praise. Yeah, I'm happy you said that.
Yeah, no, it's It was, I heard about it. We actually talked about this on our podcast a couple weeks ago because we had a guest come on, and he was playing it, Johnny Metz, and he was gushing about it basically, and then he convinced Casey to buy the physical version. Basically, Casey pre-ordered it while he was talking, and I had a code, but like I was doing it, I just hadn't played it yet, so I was really, really happy to play it. So. And I guess just to get into the how, it's basically what I would love. It's kind of like an enhanced, really awesome arcade run and gunner, I would say, because it's kind of like tons of boss fights that are super epic, and then also mixed in with some platforming and kind of just like it has this really neat mechanic of, you're going through this big world. I mean, I love how, it's what makes it seem so arcadey to me is just because it's so linear. Like it's so just kind of, and I mean that in the best way. I mean, and I think Casey's a big fan of linear stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
In the world of like Metroidvania, we had this thing going around our staff site when we were on our Slack. We were talking, and someone said, "Is this game a Metro?" Like, we're just looking at it. They're like, "Is this a Metro game or a Contra game?" And luckily, I think this game works way better. I mean, obviously, it's so fun just to play a straight through, run and gunner.
Point A to point B, and just take down everyone.
Point A to point B, and just constantly getting new weapons that feel unbelievable. I mean, the flamethrower, and then it just take out enemies, and then so I guess the way the game works is you have three different weapons. Basically, you have your consumable special weapon that is usually the strongest, and then you have your melee attack, and you use that melee attack to get experience. To get the juice to use the consumable attack. So which is a great mechanic. I love that idea. You have to hit people to grab stuff, and then you have your normal gun. And I say normal as in very under
context of the game.
Yeah. I mean, every single weapon is like Death Bringer, and then it's or whatever. I don't know, but some great weapon names there. But yeah, so it's just super satisfying and fun and hard, super freaking hard.
So you said this game was you and one other person made it?
Apart from the sound, there was someone else doing the sound effects, and there was someone else doing the music as well. But I mean, mostly it was two people.
Awesome.
So, Kurt provided some awesome music as he did for Slain, and also Marco did the sound effects, and he did a really, really great job on that. But back on what you were saying about Metroidvania, it is funny. Like, a lot of people do think it's a Metroidvania as soon as they see it. I've even seen people say that, "Oh, yawn, another Metroidvania." I'm so no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It seems like
it's not a Metroidvania at all. I mean, I think I don't know, because I think there's a couple parts where you can kind of veer off the path, or am I mistaken? Or it seems like they're kind of like there's hidden stuff, but maybe there's not.
There are hidden rooms, but they're usually just one room.
So, because Casey, and the way it works is you get these what are they called? There's
blood metal to upgrade weapons. Yeah.
So you can find these things that you can use to upgrade your weapons to make them stronger and stuff. And so I think that's probably used as a way to be kind of exploring to find those or to kill certain enemies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, which is fun, and it's like I said. I mean, so it's not, there adds a little bit of complexity to it, but it's and then there's a really interesting mechanic that I've only played, I don't know, maybe probably played like 2 hours or 3 hours of it. And there's the mechanic of the save points is you find these, and of course they're blanking on me what they're called now, but
they're called resurrection idols.
Resurrection idols. Yeah, you have to find, it's somewhere, then you grab it, and then it's in your inventory, and then you have to plant that into a save spot. So, and then you can get more of them, they'll be they'll be hidden around, or you can't. It's like you can take a risk to go grab another one sometimes, and then so it's like I've had up to like 3 or 4 at one time, and then I beat an enemy, and then I could all the ones that I had left I could use to get blood medals, I think, or something. Is that?
Yeah, you can convert them into blood medals at the end of the stage.
Yeah, which is the best surprise ever. Yeah.
Well, it's a weird. It's a bit of a weird system. So yeah, you can
weird.
You can hold on to some to increase your maximum health and energy, and then if you use them in the checkpoints, then your maximum health and energy go down. So it's a bit odd because it's like you get punished for not being courageous enough to push past the checkpoint.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I ever would pass a checkpoint without putting him in there. But yeah, I mean,
it's okay.
Yeah. Like if you're going.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say if you're going on like a
high score run.
A high score run, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, or you're doing, some
run.
crazy, but I would never ever be.
Yeah, I expect everyone to use pretty much every checkpoint they come across the first time they play it. It's fine.
Yeah. If you're a big baby, Perry.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest baby. No, I couldn't be happier to see those checkpoints.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's one challenging thing when designing the game is trying to figure out how closely those checkpoints should be put together, and trying to work out what's a reasonable amount to expect from someone to get from one to the next.
Absolutely.
Is that tougher to do with such a small team? Just because there's so few eyes on it and you get close to it, right? And then things, when you're playing a game over and over again, things don't seem as hard, and then all of a sudden you get someone new in there who's just like, holy moly. Was that a challenge to sort of juggle that?
It's kind of, once, when you're making the game and you're testing little sections of it over and over again, it's like you totally forget just how hard it can be for someone who's just started playing it, and there's plenty of times where we got someone else to play a section and they were doing it for ages and ages, like trying to do it over and over again. I was like, oh my god, is this actually difficult? I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that there has to be using sections where this certain weapon is way better for this section. I would imagine.
Yeah.
I kind of stick to my guns.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of people will just. What I found is a lot of people find some weapons they like, and then they just refuse to switch to anything else.
Yeah, they get comfortable.
And
seeking missiles.
Right. So they will just. And that's okay. You can handle any situation with any of the weapons in the game, and it was hard to find a balance because I didn't want to make the weapons get too powered up when you upgrade them, because then I didn't want any of the other weapons to get left in the dirt, So
right.
it should be okay to switch to a lower powered weapon if it's better for the situation, but then we also don't want it so that people feel like the upgrades are not worth anything. So it's it's a pretty
Yeah,
balance to find.
it is a pretty big like commitment. I was like, am I sure I want to spend my blood medals on this? You know, because I might find another. I mean, because you just get new guns all the time, and it feels so good. You break open that thing they're in and grab it, and it's just it's just an incredibly fun game. If you can't tell, Casey, I'm it's a lot of fun. I am at this part where you have to break off and go left and right. And and you have to make your way through this like labyrinth, and then you have to fight the guy that throws his sword at you.
Oh right, yeah.
How do you beat him?
Well, there's several ways you can tackle those guys. You can sort of parry him if you block his attack and
like with your shield.
Yeah, you time the block with your shield just as he hits you, and then he gets stunned, and you can hit him a lot.
That's right.
Or you can lure him into throwing his sword at you, and then he's open for an attack.
Gotcha.
Or you can, if you're really feeling brave, you can get right up to him, and then hop to the left and right of him, hopping over his sword attacks, and keep hitting him like that.
Amazing. Yeah,
it's nice with multiple ways to take an enemy down.
It told me that it says something in text dialogue, and I skipped past it accidentally when it first happened.
Parry.
Like it was totally an accident. I always read stuff that was an accident, and I was like, I saw something about a parry, but I was thinking that you do it with your sword. You know, hit him with your sword, but with your shield. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, good. That's how I'm gonna.
Yeah. So I noticed a lot of people playing it who just like skip the text. I think it's normal for this kind of game.
Oh my goodness, a lot of people
like,
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, where you just like want to.
No, I just hit it.
Get moving and shoot stuff. Like no one wants to read, and
I'm
that's
here
fair
to kill
enough.
people.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I would say, and I would. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of time here, but I would say to everyone, it is. And I am not a huge, like, honestly, like, this is coming from someone who I've never really played through a Contra game, not tons of run and gunners. This one really struck a chord with me of just really, it's a juicy, satisfying, just genuinely fun game to play through, that feels, I mean, that boss fight at the end where you fight that, and this is minor spoil, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but when you fight that gigantic,
I'm not
guy at the skull. No, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil the amazing part. What happens after that? After the big amazing tank skull thing, is just, it's like, are you kidding me? And it's like so much fun, and it's just, and I'm playing through Luigi's Mansion right now, and it has that satisfying, you know, the sucking up stuff with a vacuum. Like, it's just satisfying, and this has this, you know, you have these, like, these pockets of in the environment. It's because it's kind of like the environment's alive, right? I mean, it's kind of like you're in, it's almost like you're in, like, a giant beast type thing, or
yeah, I mean, Andrew did a really great job of bringing everything to life. He did all the art, and the sort of, the world is from his imagination.
So much, it's I don't know how one person could do that. That makes no sense to me.
He can like he creates art very quickly and to like a very good standard. So he's always got and I think he always wanted to have something moving on the screen all the time. So it's everything feels alive like that.
Speaking of which, how long did it take you guys to develop this game? You know, was it a super long process? You said he sort of comes up with the art pretty quick. Was it something that actually didn't, you know, like you said, a small team? I'm always curious to see if it's something like some of these developers, you know, working on it for close to a decade, you know, and then others are able to sort of flip it relatively quick.
Well, I'm not sure what scale quick would be on, but like it took us probably close to 3 years.
Okay.
But I think Andrew certainly did a lot of art in that time, and he has a philosophy of not being too much of a perfectionist about things, because that's what really makes people take forever, is when they're not quite happy with anything and they just whereas both of us, when we just keep pushing forward without getting too wrapped up in the little details.
Yeah. Oh man, with game development, new ideas that come up, harnessing yourself, for what you can do. It's just amazing to me, it's amazing that any game comes out, ever.
Yeah. And that's when we're making it, we didn't have too much of a solid structure for how the game was going to be. So we would just keep coming up with stuff. And then once we both came up with an idea or something, and we just had to do it, because it was, when you have those like moments of inspiration for something crazy, it's like this has to go in the game.
Yeah, let's roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really fun game. Thank you so much, Thomas Jens, for coming on and talking about it. It's really fun to have you on.
Oh, thanks, and thanks for playing and having a lot of fun with the game. It's really good to hear someone being enthusiastic about it.
No, yeah, I was just having so much fun. It just, games can be sometimes they're just not very satisfying, and this was just a very satisfying. So I was just eating it up. I was eating it up like stuffing on Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
So check out Valfaris on Switch. It's coming out physically. With the signature edition, also I'm definitely doing an unboxing on our channel for that, and then also check out Slain, Back from Hell, which has also gotten a physical release from Merge. Do you have any other games that you've done on?
In terms of proper games, that's
games that people could buy to give
that's
you
it so far.
money. Okay, that's good.
Sweet.
So everyone just get those two.
I look forward to definitely playing.
Yeah, it's great. All right. Well, thank you so much. We will take a quick break, and when we come back,
who knows?
We will be doing something else. I don't know what we're doing. Thank you, Thomas, again.
Cool. All right. Thanks. See ya.